Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to you, Ranking Member Senator Heitkamp, Senator Tester. I appreciate the opportunity to be here today to talk about GAO's work. You know, our mission is to support the Congress in carrying out their responsibilities, but also to help improve the performance and ensure the accountability of the federal government for the benefit of the American people. One of the chief ways that we do this is to make recommendations to improve government operations and activities. On average, every year, we issue new recommendations of about 1,800 recommendations each year. As been noted in your opening statement, Mr. Chairman, about 80% of our recommendations on average are implemented within a 4-year period of time. The recommendations that are implemented have tremendous benefits to the government. Mr. Chairman, you mentioned last year our recommendations resulted in over $74 billion in financial benefits to the government. That's a $134 return for every dollar invested in GAO. The Bipartisan Budget Act that just passed this year, covering fiscal years 16 and 17, for example, had over $30 billion in offsets to help avoid sequestration as a result of implementing GAO's recommendations. So both cost savings and revenue enhancements are always on our mind, and we're trying to press that. But there are thousands of other benefits that occur as a result of implementation of our recommendation. There are enhanced services to veterans, children, the elderly. There are improvements in public safety and security. There are strengthening of our homeland security and national defense operations. There's bolstering of our cyber defenses as a result of implementing our recommendations, and a wide range of program improvements across the full spectrum of the federal government's programs and activities. So we're very proud of that record. Now, as you mentioned, Senator Heitkamp, there are a lot of open recommendations. There are over 4,600 for the 24 major CFO Act agencies, and if you include, in addition to that, OMB and a wide range of smaller agencies, there's another 1,000 that are outstanding. So there's a lot of work to be done. Implementation of these open recommendations can result in tens of billions of dollars in additional savings and can result in improved program operations in the economy and efficiency of how the federal government carries out its services to provide its activities to citizens across the country. Now, in order to implement our recommendations, we carry out a wide variety of activities, and I'll just highlight some of them, given your interest in follow-up. But really, we start with the audit process. During the audit process itself, if we have recommendations for agencies to implement things where they can do them right away, we encourage that, and that happens on occasion. We issue every draft report to an agency for comment, including their comments on whether or not they agree or not agree with the recommendations that we're proposing. And by and large, agencies agree with many of the recommendations. The one point I'd make is that in most of the open recommendations, agencies have agreed to implement them. They just haven't executed and implemented them yet as well. Not all of them, but a significant portion of them. Then 60 days after GAO issues a report, by law, the agencies have to provide a report to the Congress about their response to our recommendations. That follow-up process has been in place now for about 40 years. I'd like to take a look at it, make sure it's best serving the needs of the Congress, particularly in the current budget environment, so we can, we'll be doing a re-examination of that to find out how that process is used effectively. And then we follow up at least once a year. We use our high-risk program to follow up. I meet on a regular basis with the director of OMB and the heads of major departments and agencies to implement recommendations in the high-risk area. We issue the overlap and duplication report each year. There we have a scorecard for the recommendations implemented by the executive branch, as well as the Congress, recommendations we made to the Congress. We can expand that and do more in showing the amount of recommendations we have for the Congress. Right now, we have close to 200 open recommendations to the Congress. About a third of them are the ones we report in the overlap, duplication, and fragmentation report. So we're very focused on this. One of the reasons you see an elaborate process, Senator Heitkamp, as you pointed out, is that we judge our performance not on how many reports we issue or how many recommendations we made, but how many are implemented, and what kind of benefits we've brought to the federal government as a result of the investment that all of you make in the GAO each year. So again, thank you for the opportunity to be here today, and I'd be happy to answer any of your questions.